All right, have not fans. I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July Day weekend. I actually got back to my apartment on Sunday. I was at home for 3 days, so felt nice to take a bit of a break, but I did do a few videos while I was at home, and I know that some people noticed, the Wyatt, Celine, and the George videos, but now that I'm back, there are a few things I still need to talk about. Actually, my list is still pretty extensive, and yes, I am aware that Ambitions is coming up for episode 4, so this week you should be able to expect an episode review from me on at a pretty reasonable basis, hopefully by Thursday, because trust me, I still have a lot to talk about. I still need to do the Greenleaf trailer breakdown. That's all coming soon, but in this particular video, I had to talk about John Snyder, and then I have another video coming out about Aaron O'Connell, because they've actually been pretty vocal on social media in response to fans' reactions to the finale last week. And in this particular video, we're talking about John Snyder because this is a pretty interesting topic here. Let's see. It looks like I'm going to put the tweets on the screen now so you can read it here. Passion 8 Poet on Twitter on June the 2nd, so pretty much the night of the finale. Wyatt went all Menendez brothers on his parents. I'm just going to say, but why your mom, boy? I think he meant but. Yeah, but instead of by. But why your mom, boy? She was the only one who always had your back. Now you go night too. Tyler Perry, you're playing with my emotions. Now, that's a pretty interesting tweet. She was the only one who always had your back. And then John Snyder, in several, not just Candace Tattoo, but I know she was the first, but 10 other people sent me this tweet. For the record, Jim is the only one that gives a rat's ass about Wyatt, his future, or his help. Katheryn, however, is a selfish bitch. First off, John Snyder, congrats on being married. No, you got married a few days ago. And all I got to say is this. How many times I'm going to say John and Jim are one and the same based on this tweet. How many times will it take for you to learn that if you keep calling women, particularly the wrong women, bitches, it's going to lead to an ass whooping? You kept saying it to Hannah's face. You saw what happened there. Then you were saying it to Hannah's face about her daughter, and you see what happened there. I don't think saying things like this on Twitter is going to help anyone's case, but all I got to say is this. For this particular video, I wanted to talk about the subject. Was Jim the only one that cared about Wyatt? I'm going to be honest here. I think that, especially when Amanda was still alive, there was a lot more evidence to kind of support this. So if you are new to the show and you didn't watch the first, if I'm not mistaken, on Hulu, it should say season 1 from the big surprise to checkmate, because when it was airing, it was seasons 1 and 2. Basically, when Amanda was alive, it seemed pretty clear that the parents had favorites. Wyatt was the favorite of Katheryn, and Amanda was the favorite of Jim. Now, what I mean by this is you can just tell by the special treatment each one would give the other. For example, Katheryn was the one saying, hey, we need to have Amanda committed, but then Jim wouldn't have it. Then you had Wyatt, who, he was already in rehab, but you could tell that Katheryn was more soft with Wyatt than Amanda, because she was stern and strict with Amanda, because she was, prone to quitting everything instead of seeing things through to the end. With Wyatt, really focusing on season 2 Wyatt, after the whole hit and run scenario, it was Katheryn. That's the season Katheryn really played a back seat. Jim was the one really pushing Wyatt, even in season 1 when Wyatt called him out for having an affair with Candace. You could say that Jim was doing what he did because he cared. No, actually, if you go back to season 2, this was around the time that Maggie Day was introduced and David and Jim were running for the governor's mansion. It wasn't so much about Wyatt being put away for life in jail or prison. It was the fact that Jim was so concerned with his run for governor that his son being in a hit and run scenario would not look good for his campaign. So I dare say that not. I do feel like in some way he did care about Wyatt, but I feel like his priority was to do whatever it took to prevent anything from smearing his campaign. There were so many examples of like the what was it, March for Justice, that episode where they're marching trying to get justice for little Lizzie, and then you have that artist rendering of the person that hit little Lizzie, and it looks exactly like Wyatt, and Jim and David are dumbstruck as they're taking a march. So there are so many examples of Jim actually protecting Wyatt because he needed to protect himself. Katheryn, on the other hand, has done way more for Wyatt in terms of loving and caring for him. Now, I think the biggest moment for Katheryn in terms of hypocrisy, but also doing what was best for her son, was just having him arrested for leaving Vinny Malone in the bar with his throat slit. I really do feel that in that moment, Katheryn officially gave up on her son, only because justice needed to be served. Benny was arrested for wrongfully arrested, and when I say hypocrisy, it's kind of like, well, you're the one saying Katheryn, you're the one saying why he needs to pay for his crimes and this and that. He almost took a man's life. Well, you shot Jennifer Salison cold-blooded in your living room, so you need to pay for your crime as well. But I think that Jim has done a lot to get Wyatt out of jail multiple times, but let's keep it real. Every time he did that, it was just so Wyatt wouldn't testify to the grand jury. Literally, if you think of it that way, Jim hasn't done as much for Wyatt as he has done for himself. I think that the writing pretty much left Jim in a bad spot. For example, I still don't see why when he got Wyatt I don't want to say out of jail. It's when Wyatt was coming from the jail after testifying to the grand jury and brought him back to Katheryn's house. Why didn't you have people watching him? Like, you knew he would try to escape and everything, but why didn't you have not Leo and Mac because he escaped from them before? I mean, at least some new guards keeping an eye on Wyatt, so that's why he wouldn't have found the guns and everything in the basement. But I do feel that when you look at it from a story perspective, not because of plot convenience, I think that Katheryn did more for Wyatt, and she put up with way more than Jim did, if you ask me. Sure, she couldn't kick his ass like Jim did a couple times, but I think that when it comes down to it, Wyatt got a lot more love from Katheryn. Now, they have both admitted to being, well, excuse the phrase, shitty parents. They have both admitted to that. But at the same time, I feel like if Amanda hadn't died, I think when Amanda died, that's when both of them got a bit irrational in protecting their son no matter what, because that was their only living child together. But at the same time, I think that the final nail in the coffin, no pun intended, was when Katheryn had Wyatt arrested. And, Jim was going to put him in rehab one more time. But I think that this tweet was a bit stern from John, but at the same time, he was in character, I guess, but that's just my opinion. I think that I don't agree with his tweet. I feel like Katheryn did a lot more for Wyatt than Jim. Wyatt than Jim. That's just my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think of John Snyder's tweet? And I'm not like, oh no, that's offensive. Nah, I mean, he was in character, I guess, but that's just my opinion. I mean, he plays Jim Cryer, but he has a right to his opinion just like we do. I mean, heck, I'm a fan. How do you think this channel got started? So with that being said, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you next time. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.